All right, my name is Danette Goodyear, and I am thrilled that you guys are here. Convention wrap-up. I'm sure you guys have seen on social media and heard from all your friends and everybody you know on the planet, because Young Living's getting kind of big. I don't know if you know that or not. We're about 2 million people in terms of membership. So we are really glad you're here tonight, because the real focus of this night is, yes, we're going to talk about some of the products, but we're also going to talk about some of the workshops that you get to go listen to and hear when you are at convention. If you get in there, if you're not stuck in the expo, if. So we want to make sure that you guys hear a wrap-up of some great talks today. So we are so thrilled to have you guys tonight. I'm going to... Okay. So now that you got that out of your system, thank you. I'll ask you guys to silence anything that can embarrass you if it goes off, so we don't want to have that happen. No stink eye tonight. So let's talk about a couple things. I usually do this at the end, but we have such a great lineup, I don't want to interrupt anything. So let's talk about our promos. How many are very excited about the free products that Young Living has this month? And this right here makes me very excited. That's Rutavala. Rutavala has been out of stock for over a year now. And if you not always get a good night's sleep, if your children don't always get a good night's sleep, you should, and it's still out of stock, so this is the only way you can get it. And if you do a 250 PV order, you get many things, but you get this Rutavala. So at the 100 PV order on Essential Rewards, you get a lavender vitality oil, right? I was making lavender vitality ice cubes, and you can put that in lemonade, and it's delicious, by the way. And then at 190, when you're on Essential Rewards, you get the lavender vitality, you get the fennel oil, and then they actually throw on ER, you get a 15 ml bottle of Thieves. Like, who doesn't need more Thieves in their life, right? And who's traveling this summer? Like, you need Thieves, just saying. There's not enough Thieves when you travel. And so at 250, you get all of those things when you're on Essential Rewards. And if it's just what we call a quick order, a regular order, you start out with this fennel, and then they add on the Rutavala oil. So it's a roll-on, up the arch of your foot at bedtime. Fantastic sleep. Just saying. And then at 300, they add on amazing Essential Zymes 4. Terrific enzyme product. If I do a talk on this every month, and so you can find that on YL Fast Track, and that is a Facebook page, and it's also a ylfasttrack.com. And so you can go and listen to or watch the Facebook Live on that. So I want to make sure that everybody knows the value and knows how to use the oils that you get for free. So I'm actually going to pass around this Abundance oil. It has some patchouli in it, so it's a little dark. So if you're wearing white, don't like splatter yourself with it. So a little bit drop on your wrist, rub that in, rub that all over you. We're going to have major abundance in this room tonight. We're going to start this over here. All right. So what's next? Oh, upcoming classes. Okay, so our August class, our master chiropractor, Dr. Jim Bob Hagerton's going to rock the house for sure. And he's going to be talking about kind of 3 pillars of health, because the 3 keys to health and knowing your body systems, right? Because this is how we can talk about oils in this country, is our body system. So it's going to be fantastic. And then he is going to do our business class as well, which is going to be called the Deciding Factor, and how to help people know why and how to get their membership started. Like, you don't want to miss that. Like, they have a huge organization, and he knows how to get it done. So, and then Game Plan. Oh, who has read Game Plan in here, right? Not a great book, right? And not just a book, but it's like a workbook. It's a handbook. It's a system, right? And actually, Diamond Leader Sarah Harnish is going to be here September 8th in Grapevine. And so we're really excited about that. Yeah. Because she loves us all in Dallas so much. She's coming. And then in September, Diamond Leader Nicole Perez, who used to live here, now lives in Salt Lake City, she's coming in, and she's going to teach all about the Savvy Minerals. We're going to have 3 ladies of different nationalities getting makeovers while she's given some amazing information. And then the business class is going to be on how you can use this for your business. So, like, y'all don't want to miss any of that. So, very good. All right. I just wanted to highlight something that is new at convention. Essential oils, animal desk reference. We've been waiting on this, I don't know, 10 years. I love my animals, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. So we are so excited. This is specific for animals. So if you have horses, if you have snakes, I recommend running over them again. But I don't know if snakes are in here, but I'll probably rip those pages out if they're in here. But dogs, horses, cats, guinea pigs, I mean, name it, it's in here. So it's a fantastic book. I'm very excited about that. Who has adopted a dog in the last couple months? You guys? Cat? Okay, who's adopted a dog in the last month? 3 people? Oh, you guys are married. 3 people? Is that right? In the last month? Well, I got to find something else to give you. So we got this great All My Pets Do oils, dog bowl, and our fantastic Animal Sense Animal Pet Chews. So these are full of great things like our oils like Paragize. We get to know what they're helpful for in our pets. Yeah. Okay, so would you mind giving Stephanie over there? And thank you. Right. Oh, this way. So animals. We all love our animals, so we're very happy about that. Let's do a few more giveaways. Kicking it off tonight. How about, who's the newest member? Who has come to Young Living within the month? Awesome. How about within the week? Yeah? Well, you need some stuff here. Welcome. I'm going to give you, you're the best. Thanks, dear. Yes. So these are game plan minis. So this is the little mini book of the game plan that gets you off, and it's a great way to be able to introduce people to Young Living and the opportunity. So welcome. We are happy to have all you guys. Very great. How about the most recent enroller? Who enrolled somebody today? 3 people. Yeah! I love that. What am I going to... So you're going to do... I don't know what to... So, 3 people? We're going to do this. Okay. 4. All right. So, we have a Love It Young Living Essential Oil Share It bag. I love these bags. And then we have some great mini little bags. And then these are brand new products. It's Alkaline in packets. So these are alkalinizing, beautiful 4 minerals in here. And they're in great travel packets now. Love, love, love that. So would you mind distributing... Thanks, Lynn Morales, who just retired from her job Friday. Woo! Just had to say that. So proud of her. All right. So who came the furthest tonight? Who drove an hour to get here? Like we all did, probably. Who drove an hour and a half? Yeah, no, Charlie did. Anybody longer than an hour and a half? 2 hours? 2 hours? Somebody right there? Oh, man. I'm going to give you, well, no, I'm going to give you some thieves spray because you might need to spray it in your eyes to stay awake on your way home. Or maybe in your mouth. 2 hours drove here. Love that. Someone was pointing to somebody? No? Hour and a half, that was Charlie right there. Charlie gets it. You're right there in the pink. All right. Who is the newest grandma in the room? I don't have my glasses on, but I can just kind of tell from here that you're not. So within the month? Within the week? Yeah? Well, all grandmas need some of these great seedlings products too. Congratulations. Those are our new baby wipes, and Claire Dodge is going to tell you all the things that you can do with that because it's the best makeup remover ever. So you're going to love that. So not just for grandmas, or like I use them. I've never ordered a baby wipe in my life, but I have now. So How about, who has the closest birthday to today? Anybody have a birthday today? Yesterday? 2 days? Tomorrow? Turn 30, and you, tomorrow too? I can hear that. Oh yeah. So I don't have my glasses on, but I'm just going by hair color here. So one's going to get the Aroma Woman, and one is going to get the desk reference, the pocket reference. Thank you. All right. Fun stuff. I love giving stuff away. And so we are going to get this kicked off. Maggie Grayson is going to kick us off tonight. So we are really excited. Thank you, dear. Welcome.
So thank you guys all for coming tonight. I know this is a big thing to take a time out on your Tuesday night. I know that summertime schedules are busy, so I'm so grateful that each one of you are here to learn more about Young Living Convention. And then next year, I am now charging you all with being there, okay? So you guys got to make sure that you make it there. So I'm Maggie Grayson. I'm a Young Living. Can you guys still hear me okay, even though okay, thank you, because I don't want to talk like this. So I'm a Young Living Platinum, and this is a picture of my husband, Todd, and our sponsor / enroller, Cindy Hagerton, when we got to walk across stage at the general session this past convention. So that was super exciting, and I want you guys all to experience that too. So next year, be there and walk across stage. No pressure at all, just, yeah. Okay, so tonight I'm going to talk to you about Farm Day. So my very first convention was supposed to be in 2014, and I was like 32 weeks pregnant, so I bailed at the last couple weeks. I was like, I don't know if I want to travel 18 hours away without my husband while I'm super pregnant, and so we wound up not going. My actual first time to the Whispering Springs Farm in Mona was at Silver Retreat. So some of these pictures are going to be from Silver Retreat because I wanted to give you a full array of the experiences that you guys can have when you go to the Mona, Utah farm. But I'm telling you, every picture that you see, people are like, oh, well, it's got to be photoshopped. No, it's not. And it's even more majestic than even the pictures look like. So you just have to be there. You have to see Seed to Seal in action. You guys, I hope, have all visited the updated Seed to Seal website and know that that's the why. That's why Young Living is different. If you're wondering, you have people asking, well, is there really a difference? Yes. Go to the Seed to Seal website. We don't even have another competitor that can come anywhere close to that. So in order for you to accurately convey the Seed to Seal message, you have to get your booties to a farm, right? And the more farms, the better. So there's a couple of different ways that you can get to the farm. You can get there, you can take a road trip, you can fly, you can get in your car, you can, hitchhike, whatever. I don't know, for oils, I'm sure people would love to give you a ride. So you can take a road trip to get there. For convention, the other cool thing is you don't have to wait for convention. You can go there anytime. So anyone from the general public can go to our farms and check them out. There's not another company out there that will do that because guess what? They don't own their own farms. So hooray for Young Living. This is like what we can stand on is our Seed to Seal guarantee. So you can get there by road tripping. We've done that a couple times. But my favorite way to get to a farm is go for free. Anyone else? Okay, so Silver Retreat. So when you hit the rank of Silver for 3 consecutive months, you get to go on Young Living's bill. They treat you like a king and queen, and you get to go and experience everything about the farm. And my first visit to the farm was at Silver Retreat. So I got a little spoiled, a little pampered, and I was like, why, you're not going to treat me like that at convention? And so I'm a silver and everything. So anyway, but it's totally amazing. I suggest that you go there both times. So go there every year at convention, experience it. You get to see something different every time that you go. You get to hear different people speak about Seed to Seal. You get to hear about little details here and there that you may not have heard when you went there before, or you might be ready for more information. So my suggestion is, try to get there as often as you can, at least once a year, and preferably getting to all the farms as you rank up through Young Living's leadership ranks. So free is my favorite. There is literally beauty all around. So when we talk about the farm, lots of people think, oh, we're focused on the rows and rows of plants and lavender, and I'm not going to tell you the other things because I have a quiz for you at the end, the other things that are growing there. But I mean, literally, like you look one place and you're like, oh my God, this is so gorgeous. And then you realize like, oh my gosh, I'm missing all this behind me. And like June, and there's snow on top of these mountains, and it is incredible. Like, and it's 90, it was 90, and there's still snow on the mountains. And here in Texas, we're like, what are those? And what's that white stuff? Did the clouds fall down onto the mountains? No, it's snow, and it's gorgeous. I mean, even all of the landscaping is beautiful lavender, and I had an up-close picture, but it didn't turn out, but like, you get, I mean, okay, so you get to see all of God's creation and work in person. Bees, so there are bees everywhere, and it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid of the bees. It's gorgeous. You get to see how they're pollinating the lavender plants. You get to see how they are workers on our farms. You get to see like the raw basics of what our farms are and who all goes into producing our amazing oils, and the bees are one of them. So that's pretty awesome. And then I had to throw in a cute baby picture. I have 4 babies, and well, they're not really babies anymore, but that was Lucy. She's going to be 3 this month, but that was her when we went to Silver Retreat. What a lucky baby at like 10 months to go to Silver Retreat, and this is one of my favorites. I figured you guys would like pictures of her toes better than my toes. And so there's this beautiful stream that flows right through the middle of the farm. And that stream is fed by those mountains I just showed you. And the snow melting off the mountains comes down, and that stream is frigid, like freezing, freezing cold. But it feels so glorious after a day of walking through the fields and planting. It feels so amazing. You take your shoes off, put your feet in that water. And Lucy loved to after she screamed the first time. And then it was fun when she realized she could kick and splash in it. So ice cold springs, and then the deep blue oil, that was from Silver Retreat as well. Like you get to go down into, I'll show you, well, the next picture as well. You get to go down into the belly. I think that's 2 slides from now. Yeah, you get to go down into the belly of the farm and the distillery and see how every bit of it works. You get a much bigger appreciation and understanding for how amazing our oils are and how valuable they are and how much, like, I would pay double or triple what we pay for our oils, because when you see what goes into them, man, oh man, it just, in the absence of value, there's only price. But when you see the value, like, you can convey that so much better with your members and your teams. And then, of course, okay, you have to get one of these pictures and one in there. I know you guys have seen every single person in Young Living. Once you go to a lavender field, you have to jump in the mountains behind you, and you have to do all kinds of crazy stuff. And we even got to plant some lavender plants as well. So make sure you get those pictures. You can't recreate that anywhere. You can't go jump like that. It doesn't look like that in Texas. So you have to go there to experience that, okay? And that's one for the record books. We have one from every time that we've gone. So, okay, and then you get to go behind the scenes. So seriously, like, you just can't even fathom how gigantic these steam cookers are. Thank you. You can't even fathom how gigantic they are. You're seeing maybe a quarter of it above the ground, and then you get to go, like, you know, the authorized personnel only. You get to go behind the scenes and go downstairs, and then the rest of the cooker is there. So you get to see all of that, where you really can't even fathom what goes into this until you're there. And then there's bonus fun too. Like, you get to watch Gary jousting, which is so awesome. I mean, like, you're like, are they really going to do that? Like, we were talking the first time we went there, we were like, oh, they're putting on an act. It's not real. They're not going to, and no, it is real. And like, people fall off horses and their jousting sticks break, and it is so incredible. And then this year we got to see the Percheron, I think I'm saying, horses, and they are gigantic. Like, I'm just saying, like, you thought those mountains were big, like, these horses, you just like, I mean, just incredible, majestic horses. And they are a vital part of our farm as well. So, and guess what I found? Does anyone know what that is? Goldenrod. So who knew? Like, lots of people are like, oh, well, they grow lavender in Mona. Well, they grow lots of other stuff too. And we parked across from the goldenrod field. So that's your little quiz for the day. Make sure you know what goldenrod looks like in its raw form. So that's that with the farm. And then I've also, thankfully, my husband dragged me into the Essential Oils for Guys seminar, so that way I'll be able to share some information on that with you. This is the second year that Todd's attending convention with me, and the second time that we've watched Essential Oils Guide for Guys. then listened in. And it was a totally different presentation this year than it was last year. We got a whole bunch of new information. So I'm grateful that I get to pass this along to the men and the women in the room, because I think it's important that we are all on the same page when it comes to this family business that we're growing. So, the Young Living Man, the original Young Living Man. I just love that picture. Like, who doesn't want that guy to be their farmer, right? Like, totally standing in his own element. Like, yes, I want him to be our farmer. Varick and Adaryl talked about the Young Living Man, and these are some of the points that they went over from their talk with Gary when they were at Iron Will Camp. And so, the Young Living Man, Gary says, I want young living men to be fearless leaders, proud of what they have, and taking a back seat to no one. They ride and defend the brand, which literally, lots of members rode and defended the brand this year when they did their motorcycle ride from Minnesota to Utah. Also, never start an argument, but never walk away from one either. And Gary wants to see commitment and determination to win, regardless of the situation or circumstances. So, yes, this is geared towards the men in Young Living, but I think we can all take a piece of that to heart and follow through with that in our own lives. Some other things that Gary passed along to them is always be mindful of others and show respect. Be humble and prudent. Never stop being teachable. Oh man, is this one so true. So true. Men, women, doesn't matter. Whatever rank you are, you need to be teachable, not just in Young Living, but in life in general. This is a huge point. And never forget where you came from. So this is something, I forget who's speaking on our new building, but this is so, oh man, this is awesome that you guys will get to hear about later. So never forget where you came from, and Gary's going to be able to show us exactly where he came from with the new building. A couple of other points are, this one I loved, and I was like, Todd, can we frame this and put this on the refrigerator maybe? Make other women envious of how they treat and show love for their wives, and always set the bar high. Man, if that doesn't make you want to work hard for your man and bring him home from his job if he wants to, not all guys want to, but if he wants to come home, like, man, that, when Todd is working hard to exemplify that, and man, oh man, if that doesn't make me want to put in that much effort in how I treat him and how I also then edify my leaders, my team, and take care of them as well. So Young Living men must own their mistakes and grow from them, man up, and teach and lead by example. So oftentimes, because Young Living is predominantly led by women, but I'm telling you more and more, I'm seeing more and more men step into their leadership roles. I saw at the farm more and more men and families out there, more and more men leading with their wives, not taking a back seat to their wives, leading with them. And what a powerful team that is when men and women can stand together and lead. So just because it might be your wife that started a business or that you're starting a business, your husband does not need to take a back seat to your success. You guys can do this together and be even more powerful and impactful in your lives when you get to lead together. It's also so important for guys to know the oily basics. So lots of time men are like, oh, whatever you're doing, that's great. But no, part of the manning up thing is to know exactly what your wife is doing. Learning about Seed to Seal, our farms, our partner farms, learning about the Young Living products, asking for help. Like, get out your desk reference, Google, whatever you need to do, just start learning and digging in, because you guys are going to be more powerful together in terms of affecting your own health and the health and wellness of your entire team. Learn about the essential oils, singles, blends, supplements, personal care products, and then, of course, how to use aromatically, topically, internally. Of course, just the Vitality line. Vanessa, I saw you using non-Vitality oils internally. Okay. Okay, so then, I forgot what the last thing I was going to say was. So don't forget to check out on Young Living's site, their Iron Will men's camp is coming up in August. So this is an absolutely amazing idea that your spouse, significant other, well, am I doing on time? Okay, good. This is a great opportunity for the man in your life to be involved with other Young Living men and go to Iron Will Camp And the first week of camp is for newbies who have never been to the Iron Will camp. The second week of camp is for returners or veterans. So you can go to youngliving.com, click on events, featured events, and then Iron Will camp. And I suggest that that is a great immersion into the Young Living man. That and also our men's advances. If you're not in the Essentially Equipped Challenge, that's also a great place to go. You can friend Jim, you can friend my husband Todd Grayson, and like any of the Young Living guys, and have them add your husband to the Essentially Equipped Challenge. They do amazing things for our company. They do amazing things for the Young Living Foundation, and also do amazing things for the growth and health and wellness of each other. So that's that. And up next is Mark, who's going to talk about AminoWise and SuperCal Plus.
I just had to ask which was the forward button, and it pretty quickly dawned on me that the arrow forward was probably the forward button up there. So I'm Mark, and the weir that you would normally see associated with the platinum label there would be my wife Jen. I've more recently stepped into helping out with that and joining with her and partnering in that. And yes, I would like to talk tonight about SuperCal and AminoWise. AminoWise, I know if you are, I'm now going to start my timer. You may have heard people in like fitness industry, trainers and stuff talking about amino acid supplements and the importance of those in athletics, and that's extremely important. But it's not just for the athlete, it's for anybody who has protein in their body, which is pretty much all this. So if you were to squeeze all the water out of your body, that would be about 60% of it, and half of what's left is going to be protein. So, and amino acids are what put all that protein together. So, amino acids really important because you're made out of this stuff. How they come to get there is a lot of the amino acids in your body, you just produce them on your own. So when you see amino acids listed, you might see like essential amino acids and non-essential. The non-essential doesn't mean you don't need them. It just means that your body already makes it, so it's not essential that you eat it on your own. The essential ones are the ones that you need to either eat food or take a supplement and get them that way. So, and then once the protein is broken down, then its little amino acids goes into your blood, travels around in your body. If it sounds like I know stuff about science, I don't. This is stuff I read. So, anywho, and watched a good video. So, what? Yes. So any day, if people that are athletes, they're breaking their protein down quicker. Like if you're out on out running, you're going to break down your protein quicker, use up more of it during the day than if you're not. But just living life, on a daily basis, your protein breaks down and your body rebuilds. That's why why amino acids are important for everybody, and especially as you get older, that process tends to go quicker. And by older, I mean over 30. So raise your hand if you're under 30. Just my wife. That's okay. So most of this room, we tend toward. That's that second law of thermodynamics. The universe tends toward decay. So this would be a good thing for you to have in your body. Sorry, I just lost my place for just a moment. Anyway, so in particular the AminoWise, which is over here. So if you haven't ordered yet, I highly recommend it. It just, for one thing, it just tastes really good. I know I've heard from trainers that and people that work out regularly that the amino acid supplements taste nasty. I've never tried any of them, so I wouldn't know. If somebody tells me it tastes nasty, I'm probably not going to try it. Right. So anyway, these taste really good. They're it has the Ningxia wolfberry in it and citrus oil, so it tastes really good, especially if it's chilled. And if you put some Ningxia red in there, then it's really super awesome. It's also, amino acid supplements also have been shown to help with DOMS, DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. That's like when you when you go lift weights and the next day you're trying to wash your hair or your beard, what have you, whatever it is that you have up here that you wash. That delay, that muscle soreness afterwards, this helps with that. And just on a personal level, I know that my fitness thing is I just go running on a daily basis, and it's been, it's gone up and down throughout like the year, but as it's gotten really hot out, it's gotten a lot more difficult to keep going, and the fatigue hits harder and sooner and all that. And I was noticing, like, within even just a week of the weather getting hotter, my mileage pace was just going up and up and up. I was getting slower and slower and slower. And then Jen came home from convention with the AminoWise. I started taking that, and it was seriously like a next day turnaround. I'm like, okay, yeah, I am not dragging as much. It still stinks to run when the feels like temperature is 100 and it's not dawn yet. It's kind of brutal, but my pace started dropping off again to where I was getting a little quicker. Anyway, still not gonna win any speed awards, but for me it was definitely got to go a little quicker. Have just a little time left to talk about SuperCal. SuperCal is it's super. Tell me if you can. I bet you can fill in the blanks of the story for me. Think about a time you've heard somebody talking about an older woman, and they say something along the lines of, "Poor thing, she fell down and broke her." Right. And shortly after that, she got pneumonia. I was going to go straight to died, but yeah, pneumonia, died. I mean, there's a few steps, but pretty much we go from the falling to the dying pretty quick. And yeah, it's definitely our bones get fragile, and I think we've all heard that the calcium is great for your bones. You may have heard that dairy is good for a source of calcium. It's, from what I've read, it's not at all. As a matter of fact, there's just things I've seen and read. In order for your body to process the calcium from dairy, it takes it from your bones. So that's like a negative thing. And as a soon-to-be former barista, I would love to be able to say, hey, come in for a latte. I'll steam you a whole bunch of dairy to put in your espresso, and you'll be set for your bones. That is not going to work. Because there's old Italian women drinking cappuccinos, they're falling down, breaking their hips, and dying too. So, not working. You can get loads of good calcium from plants. Leafy green, dark leafy greens, awesome for calcium. If you don't like kale, where did I put the thing? It's under the thing? Oh, there it is, with the arrow. There's the AminoWise that we just talked about a minute ago, and there's the SuperCal. So that's this one. I think ours is bigger than that. Oh, there's my timer. I'll just wrap that up by saying, of course, the Young Living SuperCal has, along with being a great way to get in your calcium if you don't want to wolf down like big piles of kale and stuff, calcium SuperCal is a lot easier to do, and also has marjoram, wintergreen, lemongrass, and myrtle oils, and vitamin D. Oh, and not only does it help with bones, also helps with clotting. Who knew, right? Calcium and clotting. There's a connection there. That's a good thing. So if you go out running and cycling a lot and you fall down and bleed, Jim Goodyear, this could be a good thing for you. All right, I'm going to stop talking now and give you to Vanessa Stegner.
How are y'all? Good. I don't have a bunch of slides because, let's face it, I took a 6-month-old baby to convention. I didn't take a lot of pictures. It's pretty amazing that I was able to comprise what I have for you today. So, my name is Vanessa Stegner. I am a Gold with Young Living, and this was my second year to go to convention in Utah. I got to go to the one here in Grapevine the year before that. Hands down, Utah is way better, just FYI. But they have some of the most amazing, I started my timer. The amazing classes on just regular health things that you would never learn. Like you might have a long line of people to get to this kind of information. And this particular class was one of those. And I have like so many notes that I can't tell you all of it, but I'll tell you in a nutshell some of the highlights that we learned about essential oils and their effect on the brain. But before we even get into that, this class was presented by Dr. Ollie Winker. How many of y'all have ever heard of him? Dr. Ollie is pretty amazing. He's got like 1 million degrees and board certifications and lots of different things. But regenerative medicine is one of those. He is a genius at a lot of this stuff. And I'm going to read a lot of notes because it's very specific. But he just taught us a lot about our brain. He taught us a lot about, we learned about poop. Yes, we talked about poop. We talked about men and women. You know, if you've ever read the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, it was kind of like that a little bit. So I'm just going to give you some of the highlights from that because I could probably talk for like 30 minutes on this. This is always my problem. I'm a talker. So facts about the brain. He led into it, and basically this class was comprised of like 3 things, and they all work together. The brain, the gut, and diet. Hello, like how all of those affect one another, kind of in a triangle. So he talked about the brain first of all, and how the brain represents about 2% of your body weight, but uses about 20% of the body's overall energy and oxygen. So your brain needs lots of good things. Your brain is very important to your health. He talked about how fast information moves in your brain. It's about 268 miles per hour. You can be thinking about something. Neurons connect in your brain with over 40,000 synapses happening for information to be processed. He talked about how there are 100,000 chemical brain reactions taking place every second in your brain. So your brain has chemical things happening and energy things happening, right? All the time. And then this was really interesting. Our attention span as a species is getting shorter and shorter. Right now, it's about 6 seconds. So you've already tuned me out probably 5 or 6 times in this amount of time I've talked to you. And then he did say a man's brain is larger, but not to get too excited about that because I'll tell you what that means later. So, you know, you can pat yourself on the back right now, but just wait. So this was super, super interesting. If you've ever studied anything on neurology or the way that energy is processed in the body, has a lot to do with the myelin sheath on neurons and how that happens. It's on the outside of the actual cell, not the inside, the way we see like our electrical cables, you know, that are running in the floor. It's actually happening on the outside. Well, Dr. Winker actually was one, I don't know if he was one of the first, but he actually contracted the Zika virus several years ago and while he was traveling abroad, and he showed us pictures of the way his body started to be debilitated by that virus. And it wasn't anything wrong with his actual muscles, but that virus attacked the sheath on his nerves. So his brain couldn't communicate. He even showed a picture of his eye went in, and he was cross-eyed with one eye. And he did say in his class that somehow essential oils got to him, and there's lots of things he can't tell us, but he's better. So I'll just throw that out there for you, which is pretty cool. So in the way that your brain is working, you have dendrites, you have neurotransmitters. That's the important part to remember, neurotransmitters. That's how things communicate in your brain. And so he talked about how where those neurotransmitters come from. Does anybody know this information? Y'all, I've learned stuff like this before, but it was he connected the dots really well for me. So one of the most important parts of this lecture was that the gut is the second brain. You've heard that before. He said in lots of, in history, 5,000 to 6,000 years worth of generations before us have known that. If we don't eat well, we don't live well. If our gut is out of balance, then it affects every part of our body. And so that was it. I was like, where is this ping pong thing coming in? And we'll get to it in just a second. But he said 99% of you is identical in genetic makeup to the person sitting next to you. That's crazy, right? We feel like we're so different. But the variation comes in, there's 85 to 90% variation in the gut between you and the next person, created by hundreds of trillions of bacteria called your microbiome. Those essential enzymes that are part of our promo, yeah, you need to get those, and Life9, and some other things we'll talk about too. So you consist, this was really interesting to me, you consist of about 10% human cells. Like if you were to put yourself like in a ratio of how much is human and how much is other things, you're only 10% human cells, 90% of you is microbial. The only other thing that I've ever learned that was that way was a roach. So I was like, great, we're like roaches. I don't understand. No. But that's really important to understand, because he said basically with the culture that we live in with antibacterial, antibiotics, triclosan, we are washing away our genetic code. We're washing away the part of us that makes us unique and makes us who we are. Yes, it was mind-blowing. So what does that have to do with the brain? The majority of your neurotransmitters that bridge the gap of communication in your brain are created in your gut. If you don't have a healthy gut, then you're not going to have healthy brain. They're connected. Fascinating, right? Like I downed a bunch of Life9 after I listened to this, like several of them. And we hear about antibiotic resistance. This was really, really hard to hear, but he says one round of antibiotics in a child for an ear infection increases the child's risk of Alzheimer's by 4-fold. Yes. You're like, oh my gosh. But he did have hope, so don't get scared. Okay, hold on. And then here's where we talk about poop. Genetic information. He said in 1 tablespoon of fecal matter holds as much genetic information about a person as all the computers in all the world. So it's like 1 zettabyte of information. I don't know what that means. If you're a computer person, you might understand. 1 tablespoon of your waste has information about you, that much information about your microbiome. Why is this important? What is so important about the microbiome? Well, it helps us digest our food. 75% of your immune system is in your gut wall. So if that's being washed out, like if you're putting those things on your skin, it's taking away that part of who you are to be able to fight off the bad bacteria from adhering to that gut wall. Okay, I've got to hurry because I'm already almost over. Okay, he talked about glyphosate, if y'all know what Roundup is, about staying away from things that are not organic on our diet. I'm going to cut to the chase here. The hippocampus, y'all, this was a really fascinating class. If you can follow him on Facebook and learn some stuff from him, he's amazing. But he talked about, like, if you have people that have a problem with inhibition, like they don't know when to stop talking or say mean things, like the part of your brain that controls that is your hippocampus. And when that begins to shrink, people will say things that normal people don't say, like, your dress is ugly or your hair looks terrible. Like, that's part of an effect of our diet and our microbiome. Isn't that crazy? So the next time your mother-in-law says something to you, hand her some Life9. Here, have some kombucha. I don't know. So much good information. Okay. So he did talk about a little bit about Alzheimer's and those things that affect the hippocampus. So this is the kind of thing you get at convention. You get a lot of life information that's not just essential oils, and then he ties it back in, and I'm going to say it really quickly. But he says there is help. There's neurogenesis. It's possible through working on that microbiome. Exercising increases your hippocampus size over time. Exercising 30 minutes a day. So here, the essential oil part. Oh, and on that note, essential oils do not tear up your gut flora. And he showed us a study that you can actually pull up. It's on PubMed, where they tested thyme, oregano, several of the spices, marjoram, and it showed no negative effect on the microflora in your gut. But it helped to create an environment where the bad bacteria did not want to be part of. So super interesting. So now the ping pong part, where we got all the way back to it. So he talked about brains and the male and female brain and how they are different. So we have different, you've ever heard of gray matter or white matter in the brain? Gray matter, it was in my other part of my notes. Gray matter is like the motherboard of your brain. It's like the motherboard of a computer. It's the computer that's running lots of processes. Women tend to have more gray matter than men because estrogen increases that. Men tend to have more white matter. White matter are just like cables. They have a direct function and they do certain things, and testosterone increases that. So the male brain, and he went through a really funny story about how women will take one thing and it turns into this big, long, dynamic thought process about the neighbor getting a new car and it going into maybe they got a new job, maybe her husband loves her more than mine, like the whole thing, and how men have one button, one switch, one thing. He talked about sex a lot too because he likes to do that. If you've known Dr. Ali, you're like, oh my gosh. Okay, so the male brain has one pathway, if you know what I'm saying. That's why I led into that. Activated at a time, it's just one thing. Activated at a time with a beginning and an end. Give me something to do and I'll finish it. Men tend to use more of their left brain, logic, problem solving, calculation, and processing. And he says to help balance that out, we use emotional oils with our men. This was something new for me to hear. You use emotional oils to help them tap into that right side of the brain. He did talk about a study done with essential oils helping to balance the wavelengths in the brain. I don't have time to tell you all this stuff, but I'm already way over. So Valor, Shutran, Harmony, White Angelica would be great oils for your man to help if he gets way to that one-track mind to help balance that out. Female brain, multiple pathways activated. They're going and going. Things are going on at one time. Lots of processes. Use logical oils to help yourself, women. Oils like Digize, which I hate, no wonder why. Brain Power, Common Sense, Peppermint, and Thieves. So last thing, it takes about 3 seconds for the brain to be activated after smelling an essential oil. 3 seconds. Why? The limbic system gives direct access to the brain. There's no other processing that has to go on. So it's one of the quickest ways you can, settle household disputes with your marriage. No. So I'm going to give you some very specific ones, and I'm going to stop talking. He talked about different oils and how they affect the brain. So if you're wanting support for the left brain, these are all in the starter kit. You would use peppermint. So if you need to be more focused on what's going on, that makes sense, right? Spearmint, wintergreen are the other ones. If you're wanting more help for the temporal lobe, for listening, you would use lemon. Great for kids. Activates the temporal lobe of the brain. Calming the limbic system. So if you're wanting to activate maybe to get that limbic system to calm down, lavender, frankincense, and stress away. My AFT people understand that is super important. And then activating the entire brain, he told us Digize and Thieves. Any of the oils that have lots of spices will activate the entire brain. So that, in a nutshell, he said take care of your brain, take care of your gut for full body health. And pretty interesting stuff. So make sure you're taking that Life 9, your Ningxia Red, your multigreens, your MindWise, and carry it with you when people say things that are rude. That's what I got from that class. So, with all that being said, you guys have got to get to convention because of the amount of information you get. That's life-changing. And I'm going to let the Dodges come up next, and they're going to tell you how Young Living took out all of that triclosan and all of that stuff that affects babies' brains in our new seedlings line.
Hello. So we are going to go quick because we have a lot of awesome products to talk through. Can you guys hear me okay? And we are Claire and Daniel Dodge. We are Golds with Young Living, and this is our new baby packs. We have 4 children, so we are super excited for the Seedlings collection that has just come out. Okay, so the entire Seedlings line uses a really mild and gentle formula that is especially designed for delicate infant skin. It is all 100% plant-based, and then obviously we have our essential oils included that are amazing for both calming babies and for comforting and soothing baby's skin. So this blend, this Calm blend, if you haven't had a chance to smell any of the baby products, you have got to get your hands on something to smell. It smells so good. I am sure the feedback button has already been hit a number of times, begging Young Living to make this a blend on its own because it is so good smelling. I'm obsessed with it. I really, really, really wanted a bottle of it on its own, a cute little bottle with the baby on it. And so it has a blend of lavender, coriander, geranium, bergamot, and ylang ylang. So we know those oils are all really great for emotional balancing, for calming, and then also really great for our skin. So it smells primarily like the lavender. That's the heaviest scent in it. And again, it's just divine. So these are all dermatologist tested and hypoallergenic. So even the sensitive skin on babies, the most sensitive skin on your youngest children, toddlers as well. These are going to be great products that you're going to go to. See, I have the passy in my hand here. They are all vegan friendly, and we are assured with any of Young Living's products that they are going to take out all of the gross chemicals that we do not want on especially our babies. Our babies are absorbing, their tiny little bodies, and we're putting small amounts of product on them, but they are absorbing all of it. And so I remember when our first is almost 7, having to go through label after label, looking at all of these quote unquote natural products and realizing that what I was basically going to have to do was grab some essential oils and make things on my own, which if you are a mom, you know, you don't have time for stuff like that. You don't want to make your own products. You want to buy something that you can trust. And so we are guaranteed to have no alcohol, no parabens, no phthalates. We do not have any petrochemicals, any animal-derived ingredients, which is alarmingly common. We don't have any preservatives. We don't have synthetic fragrances. We don't have bleached products. We don't have synthetic dyes. So we are really dealing with the best plant-based products that you could possibly put on your littlest ones. So Daniel's going to talk a little bit about.
All right, so the first one that we're going to talk about is the lotion. Again, this has the gentle formula specifically designed for the infant skin. It's really great for maintaining moisture in the skin and soothing the skin. It has a really great non-greasy formula. It rubs in really well and absorbs really well, so you don't rub it on your baby and then put it all over your clothes. It rubs in really well. So we use that a lot with packs, and it just rubs in great. The consistency, a lot of people have the questions about how it's different from like the KidSense lotion. We call it the zebra lotion because it's got a zebra on it, so the kids just ask for the zebra lotion. But this one's a little bit thinner, and it goes on really smooth. Claire says it's most like the Art Light Moisturizer, so it's not real thick. You're not having to like really shove it into their skin. It glides really easily into their skin, and absorbs really well. Do you want to hit the next one? The next one is the baby oil. We use this one probably the most often, like several times a day, all the time, because it smells really great, too. Claire will just put it on her hands, too, after rubbing on the baby, because it smells so good. So this is the one we use the most, and again, it's a non-greasy formula. So most baby oils, you have that like sheen that's on your skin afterwards, and it gets on everything you touch. This one actually rubs out all the way in, and you can then hold your baby and not get greasy. So, hey, buddy. So, again, this is really good for maintaining moisture and soothing the skin, nourishing the skin. It's really great, like after baths, to kind of lock in that moisture. And for a lot of my clients, I'm a chiropractor, and I see a lot of infants, and most of the babies coming in have some sort of digestive issues. So I'm always recommending that they do infant massage at home because that really helps with digestive issues. And this is a really great oil that I'm recommending now that they can get and rubs in really well, and they can help their babies function better. So again, it's got a lot of skin-loving oils in there, and it's ideal for rubbing on the scalp also for any dryness there.
All right. Okay, we have also the Seedlings Diaper Rash Cream, and one of the main differences in this compared to our Tender Tush is really great and super versatile. I used Tender Tush throughout my whole pregnancy with PAX. I used almost an entire bottle just on my belly, and that has some awesome nourishing oils, including sandalwood, so that's still a household favorite for us. But the Seedlings Diaper Rash Cream actually has our non-nano zinc oxide in it, and so that is going to help us with a couple of things that make it a really perfect diaper rash. It is also an over-the-counter approved product, so we can actually say diaper rash. We can say that it treats and prevents redness and diaper rash. So that is something that we do not have the privilege of saying with Tender Tush. So when you see signs of redness on baby, then this is perfect for that. It's actually going to give you that barrier with the non-nano zinc to prevent the wetness from worsening any diaper rash or preventing it ahead of time. And so we have been using it with every diaper change consistently. It obviously smells great and is a really good consistency. I would compare it most in consistency to the sunscreen. That was like my first question with the Tender Tush and the diaper rash cream, is how was I going to use one over the other? And it really is in consistency more like a traditional chemical-filled diaper rash cream that has the regular zinc oxide that we know is not great for our skin, especially not for babies. So this does provide that barrier, but it also rubs in well and is really nourishing for their skin. And it also is formulated without lanolin. So one of the big questions people have been asking is, can you use this with cloth diapers? And a non-nano zinc is cloth diaper safe. So we have been using this one and loving it. And then we have our Seedlings baby wipes. So these are so great. My whole diaper bag smells amazing. This is another product that we had to hunt down and find. Before Young Living had these, we had to do our best with finding baby wipes that were not bleached with chlorine. No thank you. I do not want that on baby's skin. So obviously Young Living has not included any of those harmful and harsh cleansers. The ingredients on this, they're so great. And the material is really nice, and it is non-abrasive. It's a really soft and thick wipe, so it stands up to messy toddler hands, stands up to messy big kid faces. These are going to be awesome no matter how old your children are. They're going to be great to throw in a little baggie for lunch boxes and things like that. A lot of times at school, we have the teachers. I taught in a school, and the teachers are just given bottles and bottles of antibacterial cleanser. So if your children have Seedlings baby wipe in their lunchbox, they're going to use that to wash their hands and not be squirted by their teacher with other things that we don't want. So anyway, these are super versatile, and like Danette said, you can also use them as a quick wipe for your makeup. It will take off really, really well your makeup at the end of the evening, and then you can use your art system to wash your face. And so again, they have that soothing and nourishing blend of oils, and then it is also largely aloe based, and we know how great aloe is for our skin, so these are fantastic. You are going to love them. We had been using a delivery service where our wipes came alongside our diapers, and guess what they were not giving me back? This company was not giving me free points with my Essential Rewards orders, and so I was not getting free oils or free supplements, and so now I can get my 4 packs of baby wipes on Essential Rewards and get free oils. So yes, all of these products have been in high demand in our house. The baby oil I'm obsessed with, as Dana mentioned.
The last one is the shampoo and the baby wash. Again, this is another one we searched for through the stores, like everywhere, to find something that was even close to okay to put on our baby's skin. And I don't know if we even found one that was good. But again, this is all chemical-free stuff that you can put on your baby, and it's safe. but this one's really good. It leaves their skin really soft. We've bathed him several times with it, and he loves it too. But it also rinses off really nice and doesn't over dry their skin too. Unfortunately, this one is out of stock right now, but they know the demand for it, and they're working very hard to get it back for us. So that one will be coming soon. And then the last thing we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about the Shutran 3-in-1 men's wash. This is pretty awesome because now I don't have to overthink what I'm doing. I just have one bottle. Like it's not that hard. You just grab one and then you're clean. So that's right. Yeah, I don't have 18 bottles to choose from. So this is easy. It washes your hair, face, body. It comes in the 8-ounce, so you can keep that at home, and then it's got the 3-ounce one, which is awesome. You can throw it if you go to the gym and shower there. It's really great to just throw in your bag to travel with. You don't have to bring a bunch of stuff, and you just one bottle with the 3-ounce one. Again, this is all dermatologist tested, hypoallergenic, 100% plant-based. It also lathers really well, and a lot of these products, like the natural ones, it doesn't lather at all. But this one lathers really well and leaves your skin feeling clean but not over dried. So this is a really great product, and again, it smells like Shutran, so that's awesome. All right, so that's all our time. Thanks.
So we get to hand things over to Miss Shell Carter.
All right. Well, I got to listen to Stephanie Moran's. She is a diamond in Canada, and she did a presentation that's all about relationships. It's a relationship business, right? And so she gave us the 4 pillars for making authentic connections. And so that's what I didn't know what to expect, but I thought was really great because I love people and I love making connections and I love making relationships, but I make a lot of mistakes too. I'm not perfect at that. And she was kind of talking also to people who may not feel comfortable making relationships or making connections. So I felt like it was something that was really great for all, for all humans. If you're a person, this was a great presentation to go to. So she started with that we want to be present. And this was the very first thing, and I love that Vanessa hit on this when she was talking about that we have, how long is our brain span? 6 seconds? That's crazy. So she was really speaking to that in her presentation, but giving us some practical tools of how we can overcome that as we're listening and talking to people. So she said we want to be present in the moment when we're interacting with someone. And she gave us an exercise. So she had everybody in the room sit with somebody else and listen to them tell their Young Living story for 1 minute. So just for 1 minute to really sit and listen to every word that they said. And then after we did this exercise, she says, okay, now tell us what was going on in your brain between your 2 ears while the person next to you was telling you their story. And people shared things like, well, I was listening, but I was so excited about what she was saying because she lives 10 states away from me, but her story is the same as mine. And so I was thinking about, all those kinds of things. Somebody else said, I was thinking about all the questions I wanted to ask her because I'd never heard anything like this before. And so I kept realizing, I didn't hear the last thing she said because I was thinking about the questions that I wanted to ask. Somebody else said, I was thinking about what I wanted to say to her, how I wanted to reply. And then somebody else said, it was really cool because it was fun. I wasn't on the job. I didn't have anything I had to do. I could just listen, and it was different. It was a great experience. But she said, it was hard. And so what she did was she just repeated in her mind everything that the person said to her as it was going in. So it's kind of crazy to think how much we really have going on all the time when you stop and try to pay attention to it. But so that was all about being present and trying to make listening fun and enjoyable and hearing the other person instead of hearing myself in my own head. And she gave this great quote. She said, "The greatest problem with communication is that we don't listen to understand, we listen to reply." And when we listen with curiosity, with true curiosity, we listen for what's behind the words. And then she also gave us the results of what we can expect to happen when we start putting this simple little tip into practice, that we are going to be more attractive to people, and we're going to be more interesting to people. Isn't that interesting? The more we are listening, the more people are interested in us. And then the other thing was that when we do this, we actually leave that door open for future communication. We're not done here. We have more to talk about it. So that was really exciting. So that was all being present. Then she talked about being curious. And the goal here is to be interested versus being interesting. So interested in them versus being interesting to them. And on curiosity, she said, curiosity asks questions that are relevant to the moment. And so that would be as opposed to sounding like a scripted sales call. Have you ever had somebody call you on the phone and they have something to say to you and they're going to say what they're going to say regardless of what you are doing in the moment or anything? So that's not how we want to sound. We may have a goal, we may have a plan, but that's not listening and that's not being curious as we're hearing them talk to us. So that was a really great point. And love this from Albert Einstein. Really? I have no special talents. I'm only passionately curious. So who knows? I'm assuming that means that if we practice curiosity, we're going to be brilliant. So I'm into that. Okay, the next thing she talked about was being authentic. And I was really curious what she was going to say here, because you know when you use the word to define the word, right? We're trying to be authentic. So how do we be authentic? But it was really good. She's talking about basically what is authentic. I think we need to get down to what that is, because the way she explained it, what she's saying is that we're not talking about being authentic in our superficial habits and behaviors. We're talking about being authentic in what really matters down to your very core, what's really important to you. And the example that she used was people who use a lot of colorful language, okay? That's not something about being authentic to yourself. This is who I am, so that's what I have to do. This is about what really matters to you. What really matters in deep inside is I want to have integrity. I want to speak the truth. I want to communicate to people so that they understand and that the message is passed on. And so look at what's really in your core and what's important. And she gave a great example of this. She said, you might put your feet on your own coffee table in your own living room, but when you go to somebody else's house, you show them the courtesy of not doing that. So we can continue to be authentic, but we need to look at what's really important deep down, not at just superficial behaviors and things like that. She said, take inventory of the positive and attractive qualities that are essential to who you are and focus on those. And I love this when she got to about being confident, because she started really with, the fact that we're all going to make mistakes. And the truth is, this is a journey and we're all learning each step of the way. And as soon as I get really good at something, my team gets bigger or somebody new comes into it and I have to learn a whole new thing, or we get a new product line, or we get, a new farm or something like that happens. And so we're always learning and we're always growing and we're always practicing new skills. And so guess what? We're not good at those when we first start out. We're going to make mistakes. If you're human, you're going to be human, you're going to make mistakes. And that was the first thing that she popped out with was, hey, learn from them. That's the opportunity to learn something and to get better at it. And then the other thing was she pointed out that you might be really confident in the product. The product works and you love it. But if you don't have confidence in yourself, then why would people believe you in what you're saying? So that was really a key point. And then she said, we need to have enough confidence to say, I don't know, when we don't have the answer. And it's okay to say, I don't know, but I'd love to discover that with you. Let's go look here, let's go look there, or to even just point them toward resources that can help them to find that. She put a new twist on an old, the 5-second rule. If you drop it, 5 seconds, But she had a different twist to it, and it was basically a countdown to overcome fear. And this was not easy for her as a diamond even to walk onto stage and to give a presentation to a huge room full of people from around the world at convention. And so she had her valor in her hand, and she said, I'm going on a stage, I'm going on a stage, I'm going on a stage, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm on a stage, hello everybody. And so she had her valor with her to help, and then she just counted down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to do it. So it was a tool for her in facing fears. And she talked a lot about, which is interesting because she's a huge blogger, so she has a huge audience before she ever came into Young Living. But one of her biggest fears is asking people to be her friend, like be my friend on Facebook. And she shared, she'd had this 40-minute conversation with someone, and at the end of their conversation, and she was like so proud of herself because she'd done the active listening thing and all that. And at the end of it, she wanted to ask the girl to be her friend on Facebook. I mean, the girl had just been telling her life story for 40 minutes, and she's afraid to ask her, will you be my friend on Facebook? So she says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, will you be my friend on Facebook? Oh yes, of course. Let's make it happen right now. Okay, so a lot of people have fears like that. Will you be my friend? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Would you like to come to my next class? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You want to join Young Living? I mean, just ask the question, right? And she made a great point. The more times you ask, the more times you're going to get an answer. And the answer to the question can be yes, or it can be no, or it can be not now. But if the more you ask, the more yeses you're going to end up with. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's be friends. She even said, great thing to ask people is, what's your name? Just say hi, what's your name to somebody. And I know for a lot of people that can be hard, so I thought that was a really great teaching, and strikes home for a lot of people. A lot of leaders in Young Living are rather introverted, not necessarily extroverted, and so that's a great teaching. She ended it really cute. She said, go make magic. Oh, what happened? Oh, thanks. That's awesome. I love it. Somebody made a nice little slide for me, making me look good here. That's great. Go make magic. She said, your vibe attracts your tribe. This was a team effort, so isn't that great? Your vibe attracts your tribe. All right, so that was one of the great presentations at the Young Living Convention this year. A great experience. Can't wait for you guys to hear now from Keith Morales. And I'm about ready to take a lot of notes. Come on.
So I'm going to talk about wild.com, and what I was going to talk about was how to set up your website, but halfway into practicing my presentation, when I reached the 15-minute point, I was like, that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you what the website looks like when it's completed, because in your virtual office, there's fantastic detailed information, exactly how to set it up. There's even this real cool video that gives you an overview of it that we all saw at convention. How many people went to convention? All right, yeah. And I was also going to show this real cool video, but I don't have time for that. That video is also in the back end of your office. So basically, this is what it looks like when you finally get it set up. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on the desktop and what it also looks like on the phone, because it actually looks better on the phone because it's actually designed to be phone-first functionality. It's I don't think it's like 90% of people are doing searches on their phone first. And there's a high rate of people who don't even know what a desktop or a laptop is anymore. They're all on their phone. So I actually got to pick my background. There are several different backgrounds that you can pick, which also changes the color scheme. How many people have already set up their site? Okay, it was pretty easy, wasn't it? Jim? And one of the things that I like about it, when you're on the top, where it has the different top menus, it just makes it easy to find things now. I like the shopping cart because it gives you the idea that this is a shopping site. Yeah, it is. So this is how it looks like on the phone. And on any smartphone, it's cool. And one of the most things I like about this is that you see right, too far. You see right there where it says call me? If they're on their phone, they can push the call me button, and guess what it does? It calls you. Whatever phone number you programmed into it. I put my cell phone in there. also email me. You can email them, they can email you right away too. And then you also put your social sharing icons there. I have Facebook and a website, and that's it. And then as you scroll down, it kind of scroll down and makes sense. It's designed to draw you into the site. And it says right there, you can view the products. So every time it gives you the opportunity to view the products or to see products that you selected and or to actually become a member. And there's more opportunities with the new site to prompt people to become a member. And there's something I'm going to talk about that when I get there. As you scroll down, one of the things they bring up first is essential rewards. That is way cool because if they see that on the site, it makes what some people think that awkward conversation is after they become a member, and how am I going to explain essential rewards now, and what are they going to say, and so it pops up right there. They can actually click it right there and learn more. So when you have the conversation with them, they're going to go, I've already seen that, I know what it's about. So it kind of drops in mental cues to help you later on down the road. Then as you scroll down more, this is what it looks like on the cell phone. I like it on the phone because it's like, bam, wow, it's right there. Click, learn more. And then again, My Products is the very next thing on there. This is what it looks like on the desktop. The My Products section has several different categories. This is the popular essential oil singles. There's about 150 different choices that you can make, and you get to choose and pick which ones you want on the different sections. So I'm going to quickly go through this. There's a section that talks about the popular blends. There's a section that talks about the starter kits. Now, the starter kits are not actually available for sale on your phone app or on your desktop. It just starts to get them involved to think about what is a starter kit. The only way they can get a starter kit right now is by becoming a member, right? But it does start to educate them on what you have to offer. But what it does say, it says enroll to buy. So it kind of cues them. They learn more. It goes to another splash page that gives them more information about the starter kit. So it also brings up personal care. So it gives them an idea of the wide range of products. It's not just about essential oils, though that's most of it for everybody, but there's more to it. I need to be pointing there. So the last section they have is the popular healthy and fitness products. Again, it further expands what the product line is that Young Living has. And then what I like right here is the shopping cart. I put something on my shopping cart, and again, it prompts people to view all the products. This is what it looks like on the phone. So again, it's right there in your face. It pops. The colors are good. And on the phone, when they get to the very end of what I just scrolled through, again, it says it right there, view cart, view all products. So what I want to show you next is when somebody clicks view all products, this is what it looks like on the desktop. Does that look familiar? Okay, that's what they see. And they get to see as much of the website as we all do as well. It prompts them to become a member. Still has that shopping cart there. The awesome thing about this is never again will you ever wonder, does somebody have your membership number to enroll? Because they use my phone. If you look in the URL, our member number there is encoded there, so we become the sponsor and the enroller. It's automatic. So even if you didn't give them the number, but they went to your site, when they enroll on your site, boom, you've got them. You've captured them. And that way, you should never have... Did I say boom? Boom! It's right there. So, and you have the quick product search, and you have the product search there. So they've put a lot of thought into it. I didn't do it. No, you don't. To think about how they can help you enhance your business. It also has it emphasizes become a member, enroll today, and there's also an events section too. So if you have different events in your mywile.com site, you might want to put these events in there too to remind people where they're at when they are. And it also makes it look like, for some people who just started, if you put other people's events in it that you're also going to attend, then it makes you look like you got more going on than what you really do. So borrow from the successes of the people who are above you, right? Make it happen. Boom. So this is what it looks like on your phone. I mean, you can't get any better than that. That really looks good on the phone. Enroll today. Here's the events. See, we got events right there. We got something going on next week. But anyways, so this part right here is awesome, where it says contact me. It gives people the opportunity to put in their name, their address, and their phone number. Well, the thing about it is that every single one of those fields is required. So what happens here, if somebody puts their name, their email address, and their phone number, and it's legitimate, they want to talk to you. They want to know more about it. It's a legitimate lead, right? I guess I can say that, right? We are looking for people to join our business, right? So that has future functionality that the people at Member Services really couldn't speak to, but they kind of hem-hawed around and hinted around it, that when it starts to expand, there's going to be ability to capture that and maybe put it into some type of back-end CRM or contact management system for you. Right now what happens is when people fill that out, you're going to get an email, and it's whatever email you encoded into your mywile.com site, and you'll get an email. When you get that email, what are you going to do? I'd call them right then and there, because if you get that email, it means they just finished doing it. And if you call them right then and there, it's still top of mind for them, and you talk to them, they're going to go, whoa, because people don't do that. They're going to go, whoa, they called me back right away. And then you kind of find out where they're at. Have I caught you at a good time? I'm the person at the website you went to. Now, you might already kind of know them anyway. What you can also use that for is that when you're out talking to new people and you met somebody new and then you want to capture their contact information, you put it in there, it goes to your email address, and you've captured it. And then you can put it in. So what I do is I take that information and I also put it into another site that we use called Marketing Sense. And that takes care of all the different automailers and autoresponders. So it's really cool. So that's what it looks like when it's all set up. Contact me again. It just looks really good on the phone. Everything you need to know to set up your website is right here. Most of you probably can just jump on your phone or jump on a desktop or laptop right now, follow the prompts, and set up your website. It's $9.95 a month. It's a no-brainer. It's a great value. There's these cool documents right here. When you go to Virtual Office, My Accounts, My Wile website, My Wile resources, every single one of these documents right here is a PDF file. You can open up those PDF files. Those will tell you exactly how to set it up if you need that kind of help. What I recommend you do is print them, read them, set up your site. Or try and set it up first. You really can't mess it up beyond fixing it. It's all there. So, I printed up all of them. I talked about that. If you're not tech savvy, stop here, read those documents in that order. It'll show you how to set them up. Remember, you can always call customer support. Again, action step, create your mywile.com website. Go get them, do it. Virtual Office, My Account, My Wile website, subscription, and then go from there, giddy up. So now I'm going to talk about the Desert Mist. Because I have this microphone, it's going to make it hard to do. But there it is. I'm done. Just kidding. So the Desert Mist diffuser pretty much solves all the complaints that have come from the field. And they've done it pretty well and pretty elegantly. First of all, people have said diffusers in the past were ugly. Well, this one's not. It even looks better when it's slit. So they took care of that. They also made it look like a home decor piece. So it's something you want to leave out even when it's not on, because it looks good. And what it says, it's a cover top design, which means you can take the cover off. So this part right here is actually the diffuser, the setup. Top comes off, and then here's actually where the water reservoir is. The water reservoir is bigger, which helps with time. It's lined on the inside to keep it from building up calcium deposits. And the sonic ring, not the sonic ring, but the ultrasonic plate is replaceable. So that's way cool. You can replace that now. On the bottom is where you have your plug-in for your power. And the reason why they did that is they didn't want a cord coming out the side. And there's also no buttons. There's also no lights on here. There's no red or green lights, so it doesn't look like R2-D2 when you have it turned on. Okay? It's just on. And the reason why they did that is because they didn't want the light shine up against the wall if you have it up against something. It looks like a home decor piece. They did that on purpose. Two functionality buttons are right here. There's a power button and a light button. What you do is you put your essential oils and water in there. You put the top back on, and then you turn on the power, and it's on. When you don't do that. We did that, and we ran it for a while, and we had a problem with water leaking all over the place, and it was pretty bad. Also, when you put it back on, what you're going to want to do is make sure it's flush and don't have it cockeyed, because if you do that, it'll also leak as well. There's a groove in there that you set up the grooves together, and it's flush. Okay, so what I just did right here is what we did at home. I didn't do it. But anyways, so there's two functionality buttons. There's an on button and there's a light button. What you do is you turn it on, it automatically defaults to high mode. Okay? The cool thing about that is you hit it again and it defaults to a low mode. The high mode goes for 5 hours. Okay? When you click on the low mode goes to 8 hours. When you click it one more time to intermittent, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 10 hours. Wow, that's it. Yay! No, just kidding. So, anyways, when you click the light, it turns on. Initially, yeah. Oh man, actually, I got another minute, so. Stop. There goes my minute. So the power buttons are right here. And when it comes on, the first time, the light is in a high mode. When you click it again, it kind of goes to a low mode, so you can use it as a night light. When you click it again, it goes to a candle feature. And one of the cool things I'm going to mention right now is that you can also use the diffuser. You can use the light settings without the diffuser being turned on. Now, why would you want to do that? Let's say, for instance, you have it in the dining room, and you're cooking and you're going to have dinner. Well, while you're cooking, it keeps everything smelling nice. When you sit down to want to eat, you want to really smell the aromas from the food as part of the eating experience, but you may not want the diffuser going. So what you do is you turn the diffuser off, you turn it on the candle flicker, and you have a candlelight dinner. Isn't that cool? They thought this thing through totally awesome. So you turn it on again, and right there it's in a transitional mode where it transitions from the different light settings to different light settings, and it does it in a very cool, eye-appealing way to do it. It's not like it changes and changes and changes. It does very smooth. Did everybody notice it started to change already? That is way cool. You click it again, and it goes to solid color. You got all the different colors, and then finally you can also click it again after I think 11 times, and it goes off. So you can also use it when it's not on as well. I don't know. Buy it and play with it. It's awesome. Before they did a lot of testing. I can't get into it right now because right now I am going over time. So what I'm going to suggest that you do, so far, just the things that you've gotten from me that I've explained, I mean, isn't this the coolest diffuser in the world? I mean, but the testing they did behind it is like super awesome. So, and the testing my wife did. So what I'm going to do is, we talked about that. Actually, I changed my presentation at the last moment. I called an audible and decided not to go through this. What I told you was a lot better. It was on these slides. I think they were. Oh, best of all, it's only $63.75. That is a deal. So your next action step is order your Desert Mist diffuser, either quick order now or put on your August Essential Rewards order. Just do it. It's awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here's the website. This link goes directly to a video that I have on YouTube that has this guy, James, discussing the engineering and the design of the Desert Mist diffuser. It's actually where I got a lot of what I just, as a matter of fact, I probably just transcribed his speech except for the technology part. When they talk about the testing for those people who like that kind of stuff, it'll just blow your mind what they did. They actually gave 15 of these away to people in the field and said, break it. They didn't. They couldn't. And they documented it. So that's the Desert Mist diffuser, and I'm done. So up next is the beautiful Carla talking about the new Weil corporate headquarters.